An educational evaluation is first off really important so that we can get to know each other and have a partnership as your child's school-based providers. So we start that process by meeting you and getting consent for these evaluations. We will schedule time to meet with your child, to do these direct assessments, but also for you to get acquainted with the school setting and to see the classroom that your child may get to participate in. We want you as a parent to be really actively involved in each step of the process so that we're building a program that's based on our partnership. The reason that we conduct educational evaluations is because we are looking at some of the same traits of autism that a medical diagnosis would be looking at. So we use the same DSM criteria, but there's an additional piece that we need in order for a child to educationally qualify for services in the schools. In addition to the actual diagnosis, there also needs to be demonstrating an educational need. And so our assessments are looking at the diagnostic criteria, but it's also looking at all of the potential areas of need that we would want to serve in the school setting on an IEP. When I work with a child, I'm usually going to give an ADOS, which is a diagnostic tool. It's a play-based assessment tool. And so I'm on the floor with a child. I'm doing lots of games and play. In my interactions, I'm looking for those characteristics of autism. Things related to how your child is communicating, especially joint attention. I'm also looking at any types of behaviors that may come up during the assessment. Some of the common behaviors that I might look for would be related to different kinds of sensory concerns or repetitive behaviors. So those are all part of the play-based evaluation that a school psychologist might conduct. And then in addition to my assessment, there would be other components to a multidisciplinary assessment for autism. Parents are also going to be asked to complete some questionnaires, like a developmental history questionnaire and some rating scales. And so that is an opportunity for them to give feedback to the school team around what the child looks like in their home setting or in the community settings, because we're really interested in how that child's development is impacted in other settings also. Parents should ask what level of experience the clinicians on the educational team have with autism. Because in Alaska, there are fewer professionals who have expertise with autism. And especially in school settings or in remote settings, there may need to be someone who's contracted as an outside specialist to come in and conduct the evaluations or to provide consultation around developing that IEP or giving training to school staff who are implementing an IEP, because there is a need for a high level of training in working with children who experience autism. Another one is, I would like parents to ask, what are the evidence-based practices that are being used in the schools? So a lot of schools use more of an eclectic approach to addressing children's needs for a variety of disabilities. And there are some pros and cons to that, right? We know that children really benefit from the natural environment. And so being around peers is really an important piece to special education programming. But we want to also ensure that teachers are trained in using practices that we know work for autism, right? So those are things like developing communication systems, using visual supports, throughout the child's day, things like using positive behavior supports to help them grow in all of their skills. So I would just encourage parents to ask what those evidence-based practices are that the school is using. I think it's important that parents also ask what the school can do to ensure their child's safety. Sometimes parents, especially of young children with autism, are really afraid that their child could run out of the school or could go out on the snow and the ice barefoot, or could even do something to hurt someone else, like another child. And so you want to as a parent, you would want to make sure that the school staff is trained in how to manage those safety concerns, and that there's a plan in place. There can be a light at the end of the tunnel for a parent who has a child with autism, that we are hoping to surround you with support, and that support is for your child, but also for you. Any parent who has a child who may be at risk, right? Maybe there's some early warning signs. I would encourage that parent not to wait, and that wait and see is not a model any of us use anymore, that we are well aware that autism can be identified early in development. And so we want to be able to put interventions in place soon. And that's the light at the end of the tunnel, is that with early intervention, we know that there can be outcomes that will be better for your child, that they are more likely to develop communication skills, they're more likely to be safe and have behaviors that are safe in the community and around their peers, to develop a network of support from peers. There's lots of things that can come out of addressing those concerns early on.